to the Crooked Lids podcast, where we talk about today's news and entertainment. I'm your host, Anthony Thomas, with my co-host, Josh.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Weather's nice.
Yes, sir. Feels good outside. A little chilly, a little breezy. Not too hot, not too cold.
Yes, it's feeling like Octoberish.
Oh, I love it. I love that October weather, man. I'm an October baby, so it's like right down my like little alley, bro. I love it.
Yes, it's been nice. So,
Labor Gang, shout out.
Labor Gang. All right, so we got some amazing news today. For those of you who've been listening, but we got a special guest coming on here in a few minutes. That's going to be, I don't even know what to call him. He's a man of many hats, but Cory Missildine from Twitch, YouTube, podcast, social medias, just everything. He's got his own merchandise. We'll get into that too. A lot of cool things going on. That's going to be going on here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about our week.
I did the same to you, actually. Oh, I took some tests this week, passed them joints.
Nice. So the ones you were scared about.
The ones I didn't think I was going to do good on, I ended up passing those. So shout out to me passing those tests. Studying works, guys. Cramming works. I don't advise it, but
well, you didn't have much of a choice the way that you're working.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah, you podcasting, working, playing Twitch with me.
Nah, that's not an excuse. You could study. I could study more.
Okay, that's real. That's real.
I could study more, but it's cool.
But we're still proud of you either way.
Don't procrastinate. That's my big message of the day. Don't be a procrastinator. But if you are, I understand you. But, yeah, that's how my week went, man. I was chilling, bro. I didn't do much for you.
Okay, nice. I know you did get into some fun stuff because Sunday we played Apex on Twitch.
I did.
Very first Twitch stream.
I did help stream. I did stream. That was fun.
It was very fun.
Apex and just being streaming, that was nice, bro. That was fun.
What did you think about that? Your first experience with Twitch?
I loved it, man. It was at first we had some technical difficulties until we had some help by shout out to
Brookie Bear Streams, yeah.
Shout out to her. She helped us out get some stuff situated. But I loved it, man. It was fun. Got to play the game. I don't know. And just talk, man. Interact with some people who are in the streams, man, in the chats. It was pretty fun.
I didn't expect it. I never expect anybody to come show support for that. I don't expect anybody to join in and play the way that you did, especially with everything you got going on, because people got lives and streams are long streams. Like you got to put in work, some hours. Like you can't get on stream for 30 minutes. Like if you're trying to make money, you got things. There's goals that you have to reach in order to move up to the next level. Twitch has its things. So for people to come out and show love for as long as they did, like. It was crazy. You were there for 3 hours, and that
was fun too. I could have been there longer too, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, you did. It was amazing, dude. And especially with everything you got going on, people who don't know you personally don't realize that you're very busy and very stressed with everything going on with you. So it's
stress.
It was nice.
We just get it done.
It was fun. I expected to stream to 1 or 2 people who weren't going to chat. Like I was just going to be talking to myself every once in a while, somebody come in and say something. Like I was mentally preparing for that the entire week that I was getting ready for this. I was mentally preparing how to talk to myself and try to be entertaining when nobody's talking to you. And it was not that. It was a whole different experience. Like it was nice.
The community, they were very chatty, man. It was nice. We had some good fan interactions, man.
Yes, we did.
You had a good Twitch stream.
Thank you.
People, I don't know how to say it, what I'm trying to say, but you understand.
The Ant Army.
Ant Army, yeah. Ant Army. Yeah, the Ant Army was out, bro. So that was live. Yeah.
We had so much fun. And I know I wouldn't got the Fortnite because I think you're still down for Sunday.
Yes, I am still down for Sunday.
Me, you, Brookie on Fortnite Sunday.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I went and got Fortnite the other day. Got it back re-downloaded, and
Hmm.
that'll be fun. That'll be a 2-hour stream, and we're also doing Resident Evil 7. I don't know how I let anybody convince me into doing this
Crazy.
for Sunday night. I don't know how
Crazy.
I'm gonna sit through RE7.
Crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh
You
man,
know, I'll pop in, see what y'all talking about, and run up out of there.
He said pop in and pop back out. I don't know how I'm gonna do
Yeah.
2 hours. It might be a 30-minute stream, guys.
Whew.
Yeah. What
Man.
else? Tell us what else you felt as far as going through Twitch and the community and stuff like that.
It was nice, bro. It was I love that Brookie Bear came by and interacted so much. She was super cool. It was nice to meet her in the chat. She was can't wait to maybe hopefully one day talk to her and maybe who knows in any who knows. I know we're gonna talk to her Sunday actually, streaming and stuff, so that's gonna be fun. Uh Playing Fortnite, I'm not that good though. Super trash at Fortnite, so we're gonna see what's happening with that. Probably about to die so much, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun, and she's so exciting too. So, and that's
she.
another person I can't wait till we can have a conversation with her and start talking about doing the podcast with us, because I would love for the community to meet her also. But yeah, there's so much cool, interesting things about to come with the podcast, with streaming. Like, there's going to be a lot of things. Things are kind of slow, even with the Twitter page. We got things that we got to start, but things are going to start here in just a little bit. We're just getting the ball rolling. I've taken the pressure off of myself.
It's only getting better from here, bro.
Yes.
Shout out to the fans who are listening right now. It's only getting better from here.
Oh, speaking of only getting better, we were just saying things are only getting better, and then Cory joins in right after that.
Man? What's going on?
Things are great. Things are going great. How are you today?
Good. Sorry, I was like almost late. Can I pee real quick before we start?
Oh yeah, we already started. Go ahead. You're fine. We were just talking about our weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to bring you in as a special surprise entry.
Wait, are you live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't send me the link at all. Oh, that's fine. I'll just stick around then. I don't know. Hey, I'll hold it.
You can make it.
No, it's okay. We can.
No, it's all right. Hey, I'm gonna hold it, or I'm gonna pee on your stream. That's fine.
Okay, one or two.
We'll definitely get some more viewers.
Yeah,
good content either way.
No. Can you actually send me? Can you send me the link so I can let them know?
I think what link?
The link to you're live right now?
Yeah, we're on Zoom right now. I sent you the codes to get in.
No. Oh, I thought you meant you were streaming it.
Oh no, we're not live.
No. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. That's my fault.
You were live streaming.
Look, one thing you're gonna learn about me is my choice in words is terrible. I can say one thing and mean something completely different.
All right, but, give me 1 second then.
Okay, no problem.
I was like, what do you mean you're live? I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm telling you.
On the live stream?
I did. I was like, what do you mean, man? I was like,
dude, what's hilarious is this is something I've been beating myself up about because I'm so bad. I'm so antisocial. This is the first that I'm really just getting out there, and my words are terrible. Just really bad. But it's working. We're working on it.
No, you meant you're recording it.
Yes, is what I meant to say.
Yeah. When you were like, yeah, we're live, I'm like, oh shit. I didn't tell anybody about it. Like, I would have told my Discord. I would have been like, hey, yeah, no, we're all right.
Okay. Well, we were just getting into our weeks. Our week starts from, because we record Tuesdays, from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. Do you want to tell anybody what you got going on or what happened with you this week?
Oh man, so I've been producing a play for about a year now, and we've been this is the first full week that we've had of rehearsals for this. It's a fully written original play that's going to be staged in over, not really Zoom, but in that format, and it's going to be streamed directly on Twitch and all that. So we've been working on that for a while, and I've been in rehearsals like all week.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
That's crazy.
I did when we talked about you in the beginning of the pod. I told everybody I don't know how to introduce him because he's a man of many hats, and now you see what I'm saying. He's also writing a play.
Well, okay, so I'm not writing it. There's somebody else is writing it, but I was supposed to be like the I don't even know how you describe it, like the stream coach, I guess, of the program of the play.
Stream coach, okay.
Yeah, just kind of, I had this idea.
In charge of streams, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, well, it was like before COVID hit. I was talking about how plays need to adapt. They need to change. Right now it's as people refer to Broadway and stuff. It's like the Great White Way. It's only wealthy people that get to like experience plays, right? And that's not why they were designed. They were designed so that you could anybody could just walk in and watch this show, and it's not a big deal. It's just like a super not formal thing.
Yeah.
And people have taken it and they've made it this like super elite thing. So now I was like, nowadays we have access to anybody. You know what I mean? Anybody with an internet connection you have access to now. So it's like, why are theaters not doing this? So that was my idea a year ago. And then I went to a community college nearby, and a friend of mine went to his funeral, that went to the school, and I was talking to the director there, and I shared my idea with him, and he was like, hey, let's do it. Like, let's go. Let's get this staged. Let's get it going. But now I've ended up being like the scenic designer and like all of this other stuff, the assistant director. So yeah, it's been a wild, it's been a long week.
Definitely. I was just going to ask, does this ever take a toll on you mentally? It feels like you're doing so. We're going to get into all the things that you got going on because there's a lot to talk about, but it feels like you have no time.
Yeah, it feels. I don't think that's I have no time. It's that I don't use my time as effectively as I should. Like there's times where like if I was to look at my phone right now to see screen time, I don't even want to know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, doom scrolling Twitter, right? Like, just like, no, I'm good. I don't know if I want to do that. Like, no, I have plenty of time. I have plenty of time to like focus on, I don't know, watching shows or hanging out with Lana, my partner, whatever. Yeah, I have time.
Which we just found out today, she's doing awesome things too. She's writing a book. That's what she went to school. Yeah, I'm telling you. Guys, it's not going to get any better than this.
No, it absolutely will. You only go up from here, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she actually just got she went on Fiverr and she hired an artist to make the cover for her book. And then she put it on this website that's really good for like finding books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's uploading to that every month or bi-weekly. She's putting a chapter on until the entire thing's up, and then she'll go from there and hope that she can get it published and all that. And I get early access to all her chapters.
Heck yeah, I bet that's
it's super cool.
She'll write it, and we'll get feedback and stuff, and it's great.
And I just got that app when I seen it on Twitter. It's just taking me a minute to try to figure everything out, like what I'm doing. I'm so slow.
I think I literally signed up for the app like an hour ago. So
okay,
didn't even know it was a thing. So
I didn't either.
Yeah, she like just started. That's cool though that you did it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You'll have to vote for her book. I think it like helps search it.
Awesome. Hey, you teach me how and I'll do it.
Right,
I'm super easy. I'm easy. Just teach me.
So you click on her book, which is the link, and then you hit the star button. That's it.
Okay. Nice. We got it done. It's done, man.
That's it.
Well, did you want to get anything? I'm going to go deep. I'm light skinned. So if you don't know what light skin is, we're emotional. So I'm going to get emotional if you don't have anything else in your week that you want to talk about.
No, I don't. Yeah. No, I'm just working a lot.
Okay. So here's what I wanted to say. This is things you can't say in stream because one, there's not enough characters for it. But all right, so those who, and everybody should know because we've talked about you quite a couple times on this podcast, and I ran into Cory Missildine because of the Legend of Dragoon game through YouTube, and I gave up on that game a long time ago. We recently got it back about maybe a year or two ago, and I got all the way to the end and still couldn't beat it. So I was just like, this is never going to work. And I didn't want to go through all of it again. So one day I said, I have to beat this. And usually walkthroughs are so boring. Like they're just, you watch them, they're teaching what to do. And somehow, I don't know how, I just landed on random Cory Missildine. Like it might even just been the name. I was just looking through walkthroughs. I was like, all right, I'm going with this guy. And from the very beginning, he's so good. I thought your intro was the game. I was like, how come my game doesn't intro this way? The way you was doing the prologue in the beginning.
Oh, that's cool.
I really thought that was the game. I was looking at my game like, what? Maybe he's got like a special like Japanese edition or something that I don't know about.
No, that's just talent. Pure talent.
So I finally get to the end. I beat it easily. I was so surprised at how easily it was to beat.
I'm glad you did, though. That game is, yeah. I'm glad
the War God did it.
War God yeah. The one that automatically, yeah.
So
I'm glad, yeah.
This is how good he is. My wife is super hard to make laugh. She doesn't care about the Legend of Dragoon. She doesn't play it. Like, it's just not really her thing. She sits in here and watches just to be around me. I have caught her laughing at you in the game, like doing the thing. And I was like, this dude is really cool. Now, here's where it gets emotional. Part of me didn't want to. I seen that you had a Twitch and stuff, and I thought, I don't want to do this because, and I know Bree understands this because we grew up in the same area. You don't want to get your hopes up with a lot of people that, dang, I hate to say the word that are white. Like, it feels kind of, but you do your thing with, yeah, that came out wild. See, I told you I'm not good with words.
No, I mean, no, I've been playing video games a long time, and I've been around people that act certain ways, right? And that they wouldn't if I was anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I seen the Twitch and everything. I thought he's so funny. And I don't use Twitch. I only got Twitch because a friend at work wanted me to help him with a view. So I would just give him the view and not really pay attention to it. When I seen he had Twitch, I was like, he's so funny. I want to watch, but I'm just, what if I get on there and I got these high expectations? He's a super funny, cool dude. And then he's just like, oh, I don't really care about black people, or I don't really care about, like you run into streams like that. And I've ran into streams like that where you can tell where they kind of feel about things. So I was like, I don't really want to, like, he's funny through this. I don't really want to get my hopes up. Then we got to a spot in Legend of Dragoon where at the end you stopped and took time to talk about George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. And I was like, he really, like, I see where his heart at. He really is that cool of a guy. And there was a random stream that you were talking about just being a part of the marches for Black Lives Matter, the protests. And it just made me feel like with your streams, I don't feel like I fit in. I'm not a World of Warcraft dude at all. I have no clue what they're talking about half the time. I'm like, okay. But I always feel welcome and accepted. Like, I feel like I'm part of the stream. Even when they're doing that, I have no clue. They use words. I have no clue what the hell they're talking about. But it's always fun. And it's a good stream. So I just wanted you to know, I know you don't want a pat on the back for not being a racist or anything like that.
Yeah, that's like not a... It's like a very baseline bottom thing. I feel like, no,
it's funny.
Honestly though, that means a lot. I'm glad that I could connect with you, just by doing that. Like that actually, I almost just got emotional you saying that, to be honest with you. So
it's hard, man. It's so hard. Like, even with just as a child, like even growing up, like me and my wife were big wrestling fans, and we don't get our hopes up about it. It's hard to really, really like some people because then you see their Twitter and they're just saying wild things. You're like, man, I thought really highly of that person. So it's hard. Even as an adult, you shouldn't feel that way as an adult, but at a time you do, because it's just like, I really think he's a cool, funny guy. Like, I really hope that he's this really cool dude. And my hopes were like, I mean, it was exactly what it sounds like. Like, you're really that good of a dude. And I'm glad I feel accepted there.
It sucks like that's still a thing. You know what I mean? In 2020, the fact that that's like still a thing. But I can't even imagine. That sucks. Like I've never watched somebody and been like, Well, I guess it's not true. There's been plenty of streamers where I'll watch and I'll be like, yeah, I want to work with them or whatever, and then I'll see a stream and I'm like, ah, fuck you. Like you don't have like me and you do not have the same values, And that is something that's important to me. I think it's like
it is, and I knew part of me knew how good you were when I seen you're heavy on what's the word? I don't want to say wrong words because it's gonna make you look so bad. I don't mean to say promote.
You can say wrong words. That's fine.
Not promote, but the way that you make sure people from the LGBTQ community know that they're welcome in your chat, and you're zero tolerance for homophobia. You're zero tolerance for racism, and like when I seen a lot of people who feel that way about the LGBTQ means that they have a heart that they feel that way about a lot of people. It's not. So I felt kind of like, well, if if he's open to all these, making everybody feel welcome, then he really has a good heart. Like that was really cool to see.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, like I said, I don't mean to make it sound like a pat on the back for not being homophobic or racist, but it's just I wanted you to know, for me personally, it feels really good to be accepted somewhere like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It is one of those tough things too, where like I'm sure the wrestling community actually has it potentially even worse than the gaming community, right?
Yeah, they're wild.
I don't even like doing random pickup groups and stuff like that for stuff because I'm like, you know what? I don't. I joined I remember one time I had a viewer that invited me into a raid in his guild, right? His guild was doing a raid in World of Warcraft, and they invited me to go. And I was like, sure. And then one of the guys in his group was like, oh, do we have a streamer right now? Like, is there a streamer in this group? And everyone was like, yeah, there is, like all happy about it. And this guy was like, oh, cool. Cause like F the N-word. And I was like, are you? And that was the only time I've ever gotten angry on my stream. Like I was literally like wanted to break things. I was so like, like I didn't even, I like sat there for a second and just clicked out of the game, like just left the Greek game, left their Discord. And I just was like yelling about it at chat for a second. And I was like, dude, and like I got like the guild master of that guild was messaging me being like, that's not us, it's not how we want to be represented, it's not us. I was like, man, it is though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
think that was the first time that person did that? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. No. Definitely not.
But because somebody called them out on it enough or whatever, right? Then it's a problem. But like you see it all the time with people just allowing it. It's like that's just the norm in gaming or whatever.
It is. I know exactly what you mean. Because like you were just saying, the wrestling community is even worse. A lot of that I have to just completely stay out of. That gets really bad. It's been worse than the gaming stuff so far from what I've seen. But I haven't been on Twitch much, and I really only watch you and about two others like fully. Well, I say you and one more that I watch fully. Like I'll sit and watch the entire stream and things like that. But I don't really
do that.
It's entertaining. That's why I made it so entertaining. It is.
Two to 4 hour streams.
Yeah, no way.
Oh my gosh,
dude, I can't watch streams. Like I'll check in. I have plenty of friends that stream, and I'll go in and I'll say hi and stuff. But I'm definitely not sitting there watching. Like that is not. Oh man,
it's not just me though. Your community, you really like. That's where you got to realize like how great you are at this. Like a lot of your community are in there. Yeah, look, I check in the mornings. Cory knows I work mornings, so I miss a lot of that. But I'll see people in the morning chats and then see them again in the night chat. So it's not just me that sticks around for them whole things. Like you got a lot of people who really, and we're going to get into that when we talk about your Twitch, the community, because there was some things I wanted to say about them too, because they're really, really awesome people.
Yeah, I have the best. Yeah.
Well, that's all.
100% have the best.
Yeah, they are. That's all I had about emotional. Bree, did you want to talk about anything?
How was that? How was that experience? Like going on the process experience? Like, what did you see? Like,
so I live in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So we're, we have the reputation, anyways, of being like a liberal state, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have so many issues. But me and Alana went to Boston for the march, and it was great. It was awesome. Everyone well organized, brilliant speakers. It was great. And we basically took over Boston. We walked through Boston. They stopped. People were out of their cars, waving to us, like honking to let us know, like they were with us. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No one was getting mad. No one was like getting mad. You would think like traffic was totally stopped. You would think people, everything was fine. We get to Boston Common, which is this big park right in the middle of basically downtown Boston.
Okay.
And we're all filtered in there because that's where we're doing a vigil for George Floyd. And we all get in there and we all take a knee, and we do like a moment of silence, and we hear this like banging going on behind us, and then we hear banging on the other side, and then on the other side, and then on the other side, and we see that there are cops.
Wow.
I mean, an army of cops.
Wow.
Marching into each of the things. They're basically corralling us in this park. So we can't leave. So me and Alana are like, what the? We were already trying to leave, and we like go down to take the tea out, and they shut down the tea. They locked the door, so we couldn't leave. We literally could not get out.
What?
And we just, it was crazy.
That's crazy.
And we went with milk and stuff like that for pepper spray, whatever. And we went around and we were filming stuff, like anything that seemed getting a little crazy. We filmed it, but man, 100%, the cops were the aggressors there. 100%.
Wow, that is
like
crazy.
I wouldn't have believed it, honestly. Like if the next day or that night, I was looking at the news and I'm like, that is just not what happened. Like that is just straight up not what happened. And everyone, even my mom, was like, I don't know. It sounds like you're lying. Like, it sounds like that's too hard to believe. Like, why would all the cops and whatnot make it up? And I'm like, that's what happened. Like, maybe someone threw an empty water bottle at a cop. Maybe. But they were throwing like tear gas at us. I mean,
a water bottle doesn't warrant tear gas.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw them slamming people. I saw one kid who was like, took his skateboard and was trying to break a window. And it was a white kid. He was like young, like 16 years old, and he was smashing this, and a bunch of people were telling him to like back off, and he kept like going around and antagonizing stuff. So I got him on camera being like, what are you doing? And like so like I kicked him out basically. And and he like stopped, and then like it was just it was crazy. People ended up smashing a car, but it was like a cop car, but it was one of those things where it was like the cops came, right, which pissed everybody off. And then
made it worse.
Yeah, and well, they were just like, you can't rule this, right? Like,
you can't make us leave. You weren't doing it.
Yeah, and then it escalated because it became us versus them.
Yeah,
but honestly, I think there was more cops than there was protesters there.
That's crazy. And that's like stuff that you only hear on like TV, and just to experience that will be wild, man. It's a crazy experience to go through.
I was even like tweeting out like what I was seeing and like with pictures and stuff, and people were telling me I was wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we say or do. They
don't care.
I was like, this is crazy. But if I was at home and I was sitting there watching that with my mom or whatever, when I was younger, I would have thought that they're being aggressive, because that's all the news showed. Yeah, they didn't show what started, right? They just showed how it ended.
Yeah, they only say what they want you to see.
Yeah, that is very true.
To make the other protesters look bad, not to save the reputation of the police.
Yeah, well, it's only going to get scarier from here.
Through the next month, like, I don't even, oh shit.
Yeah. election.
I just voted today. I was just able to vote.
Nice. I know on the topic of protest, here in Nacogdoches, that too. Here in Nacogdoches, my sister-in-law was protesting, and it wasn't a cop or nothing, but just an old white dude pulled up and rolled down the window and pointed a gun at everybody that was standing.
Jesus.
Yeah, on the thing, and you can't even protest. You're supposed to have the rights to protest. If you do that, it's a lose-lose no matter what we do.
Yeah, you can only protest about certain things, like haircuts doing.
Yeah, you can do that. You can march up on a a city building with AR-15s and whatever other gun
just
you
take
want.
it over.
That's
over
fine.
a state building, just take it
No
over.
big deal.
They don't care.
But you break a CVS that has insurance. Oh man, that's it. The entire country is mad now.
Man, we're bringing out the tanks.
Yeah, the tanks come out.
Tanks are coming out.
It is rough, but yeah, I guess we can get out of the emotional because y'all know how I'll get. But but like I said,
I could talk about that all day. So
I won't.
Next podcast.
I won't. Like I said, I won't make you feel like a pat on the back for not being racist. But just speaking for me personally, I thank you for making me feel welcome.
I think you said something about thank you for going to the protest. I think I remember you saying something. I was like, no, like don't, like thank you, but like don't, also don't. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And that's
why
everybody
should be doing it. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you're physically, mentally able to do it, you should be doing it.
Exactly. You're right. What would you like to get into first? Do you want to talk about your podcast, your Twitch, your YouTube? We got a couple of things.
With the podcast.
Awesome. All right, because I was just telling Breed, I was about to Google Blizzcon because we don't really know what it is, but then I thought, you know what, it would be more real if we just talk to you about it. Because you told me you had a podcast, I downloaded it, I listened to it, and I have no clue what Blizzcon is.
Oh yeah.
So talk to us about the podcast.
Yeah, so our podcast is called It's Always Sunny in Stormwind. It's me and two other guys are the host. My friend Creek, whose birthday it actually is today.
Oh yes, happy birthday to Creek.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Creek. And then another friend of mine, Mr. Miles. Yeah, Creek, Patrick is his actual name, but
Patrick, my bad. Happy birthday, Patrick.
Yeah. Shout out. So it was Creek's brainchild. We were at BlizzCon one year and he had this idea for this podcast, but the idea is It's Always Sunny in Stormwind. We cover everything under the Blizzard sun. Blizzard is the company that's responsible for Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, all that stuff. They're the company that made that. So every year they do a thing called BlizzCon, which is just a giant Blizzard convention, and they invite a bunch of nerds down, and you get to they announce their new stuff for the games. There's the esports side of everything. Their community contests where they'll do like cosplay stuff and trivia and talent contests, and yeah, it's awesome. It's like the best time of year.
That sounds really
for
fun.
us. Oh yeah, it's great. It's probably not as good if you're not a Blizzard fan, but it's one of the big things that they say every year is like welcome home. Right. Yeah, and it feels like it because like
definitely if you're into the community, that sounds
like
awesome.
Everyone, regardless of whatever whatever life experiences they have or whatever, they're all there for the same thing. They're all there because they like Blizzard. They like the games you like,
Exactly. And I'm not really into that stuff, but just seeing people dressed up and all that, like I'm all the way in.
And like some of those are like movie quality costumes. And you're like, wait a minute, you're in real life right now.
Yeah,
like you look incredible. Like I remember seeing pictures before I ever went. I've only been the past 2 years, and they've had it like 14 years of it or something like that. And and I remember seeing pictures being like, oh yeah, they like really photoshopped and like did that. No, they're just that good. They're just that good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've only been to one. It's not a BlizzCon, but I've only been to even one Comic-Con, and it was out in Beaumont, Texas. So it's kind of a more lower budget one. And even those costumes were like, man, some of these people are really good. So I can't even imagine what BlizzCon costumes were looking like.
Well, people do like circuits too. Like cosplayers, they'll do like a convention circuit, and they'll go to like all these different conventions all over the country and like
convention hopping.
Yeah, they do it. That's like
pretty cool.
Yeah, and some of them, they get paid by companies or whatever to show up in a certain cosplay, which is pretty cool. They're like models for the whatever the thing is, right? Which is kind of neat.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what BlizzCon is, and then the podcast is us just talking about any Blizzard news or like what's going on currently in any of the franchises or whatever. And it's a very like, I don't even know how I would describe our podcast. It's not formal at all. Like we don't have like all right, let's move into the next segment or whatever. It's just the three of us just like having a conversation. Like the best way I describe it is like imagine three dudes sitting on a couch talking about Warcraft or whatever. Like,
Right.
That's what it is. Like
Exactly.
It's just us making fun of each other. Like it's great.
And that's usually what we do here on this podcast. But we were stressing all week to make sure this was as professional as possible.
Why? Why? Have you seen my stream? What are you talking about? Like, dude,
I know.
that's so funny. Like,
professional streamer here.
Oh, you should have seen me. You should have seen me sweating bullets when last week we couldn't put the podcast out on time because I was having terrible Wi-Fi situations. My anxiety was through the roof. I was like, we got Cory next week. This isn't going to work. The last thing I want to do is tell him we're going to have to reschedule or it's not going to work out. I don't know how that's going to go. So I'm freaking out, like serious anxiety problems. My wife fixes it. And I tell her today, please, before you go to bed, please make sure the Ethernet cable is in right so that this doesn't go out, please.
Well, so here's the crazy thing, all right? If you would have been like, hey, we have to reschedule, I would have been like, okay, cool.
That's how cool he is. But my mind, okay, I got a funny story about this too. This is how bad my anxiety gets with this stuff. The first time I asked Cory, would he do the podcast? I snuck into the restroom. I couldn't wait. I was supposed to ask Breed first. And I got too excited. I didn't even ask Breed. I asked my boss. I was like, all right, so my job, we just stand on a line. You can't use your phone or nothing because we're just coning chicken all day long. Yeah. I say, I need to go to the restroom real quick. I run to the restroom. I'm hiding in there, texting Cory on Twitter. And I'm just like, hey, would you? And I sounded like such an idiot. I don't know how he said yes to it. I sounded like somebody, like when somebody calls your phone, like it's a weird number. And they're just like, yeah, we want to give you this. You're the lucky winner. Like I came off that way. Like, yeah, we picked you. Like you're the person we thought of. It just sounded so bad. I got back to the line. I was like, he's not going to reply to this.
Literally, that isn't. He's making it sound way worse than what the actual message was. The message was I almost want to read it, but I won't. The only part of it that I was like, that looking back at now, I'm like, what? Is I'm extending this offer to you for October 6th. That's the only part.
I got nervous.
I'm extending this offer to you. We'd love to have you on for our first guest. We want to talk about YouTube and Twitch and some generic questions. Overall, just have a fun conversation. Yeah, cool. It was fun. What do you mean?
I overthink things crazy, but
I do. Yeah, I know. I feel you. I feel that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But yeah, the podcast, like I said, even not knowing anything about I can't really speak on the topics. I really don't know anything about BlizzCon or World of Warcraft or anything, but just overall, it's the same. Like my opinions on the way y'all do it is the same as your Twitch. Like you're really good at talking. So it's a good listen for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I've been talking for a long time.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. You can definitely tell. Well, I got so many stories and things I want to say, but we'll save it for Twitch because it's what I know more about. But we can get into YouTube. How long have you been doing YouTube?
Oh man, 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, 2010 was my first. Yeah, and like that's what I mean when you're like, oh, you're a big you're a streamer guy. Dude, I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, 10.
You know, I don't have like a huge audience or anything, you know, like my YouTube especially is like, but it's been fun.
Yeah,
like all the time. I'm actually trying to see what my oldest video is currently.
I'll say, and I don't know, I guess it depends on
8 years ago.
Oh, for the first one?
Yeah, hang on, let me check the date though.
I guess it also depends on how you view, because I always viewed your audience. Maybe I see what you mean. To me, your audience is huge.
I think that's something that just like keeps happening, right? Because like I remember being like, I just need 100 subs, and then like I don't even remember hitting it, and then it's like I just need 1,000 subs. I just need 10,000 subs. I just need, and like you look at all these people constantly along the road being like, oh, they're so big compared to like they're so big. Like, oh, I just want to have as many subs as them. And then you get there and you're like, if they were as sloppy as I am right now, like I was looking up to the wrong people. Like, what was I doing?
Right.
Yeah. And that, because I remember distinctly this guy with 10,000 subs. He when I was like starting, I think I had like 100 subs. My videos were getting 5 views, and it was all me refreshing to see how many views I had. I remember him giving me advice, like let's play advice. And I remember being like, wow, I can't believe this guy talked to me. And now I'm like, my channel's bigger than his. And it's just a weird, it's just a weird, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just gaming stuff.
I'm about to say,
I mean? Like,
I can't even help because I don't know the feeling yet.
Yeah, well, you will, right?
Yeah,
it's
right,
just
right.
like, yeah, you're just somebody putting video game videos out. Like you're not, you know what I don't know.
Right. And I did tell Breed when I first started talking about streaming, because I didn't want to ever bring it up into your chat, because I just feel like there's time and places for stuff like that. But when you asked if anybody was planning on streaming or anything, I was like, oh, cool. I'll tell them, you know. Yeah. And when you did, some of the best advice you gave me, because like Breed could tell you, but I have terrible anxiety. But when you told me, look, you got to be prepared to talk to nobody, I was like, okay, then I need to start working on preparing for that, because it's going to bother me. When I look up and see the 0, I'm going to keep looking at that. It's going to bother me. I'm not going to talk anymore. That. I'm going to shut down. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. I think all streaming stuff has an option to hide that.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
And like, I hide mine. I don't look at my views. I have no idea how many viewers I have in a stream.
Right, right. And I noticed that because one day I was going to say something. I came in from my lunch break and I noticed a huge number. And I was like, wow, that's so dope. But then something told me, don't, even if you didn't care, that sounds almost like real, I don't even know the word you would use for it. But it's just like, why would you even bring it up? Like almost like you didn't think he could do it to begin with. So I was like, that's going to come out wrong.
No, see, overthinking. Well, I think it's fine to be like, oh damn, like you're killing it or whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't like to know exactly how many. I want to do the same show regardless if there's a person watching or 10,000 people watching.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It's still me. It's just me sitting there talking about whatever, right? Like nothing's really gonna change. So
well, what have you enjoyed more so far on the YouTube? Do you enjoy the walkthroughs more, or?
Oh man, I love those.
I know you've been doing other things too, like with advice and helping, which we actually sat down and took notes and had a whole phone conversation about the last one, the last YouTube video you did about doing your social medias and all the different advice you was giving.
Yeah.
So, what do you like doing more out of those?
So that's been fun because I've never done anything like that before. So that's cool. But my LPs and walkthroughs are definitely my favorite. Because I get to meet people, I get to meet you, you know what I mean? Like right, I got to meet you because I did the Legend of Dragoon. So, and you're awesome. And I'm like super happy that I ever even did Legend of Dragoon. Because I think you're so much. Yeah, I think you're the best. So I'm like, I was literally just talking to Alana too. So I was like, you know, I don't make those videos to like get lots of hits on YouTube. You know what I mean? I make them because the people that are going to interact with them are people that I want around me, where they're, you know, they're into whatever long form content. They're probably genuine people. They pick up on who I am long enough if they're watching the whole thing. If they stick around, that means that they liked me, which means that I'll probably like them, right? Just because of narcissism. Yeah. So like, I enjoy those so much. They don't get the most views, but like, yeah, the people that like those, and that's a better feeling than, you know,
yeah,
50,000 views on something.
I've seen streams where people would follow you and then comment, "I've seen you from this video or this walkthrough or this walkthrough." I was like, I know the feeling.
Yeah. It's always Pokemon.
Did you want to add something, Breed?
I was about to say Pokemon was a great game. I love Pokemon.
Yeah, me
you
too.
did Pokemon walkthrough?
I did, yeah.
Which Pokemon?
I did Fire Red.
Oh, okay. That was one of the first Pokemons I ever had.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Game Boy style.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. People loved that. I have another one that I'm going to be doing. That's my next like playthrough. I'm just waiting until after Shadowlands and stuff comes out, and yeah.
Nice. I will say, I was just thinking the other day, I was going through some of my old, the original Xbox games, and I was like, I need to find a walkthrough for Fable. So I was going through YouTube, and I literally looked at my wife and said, I need Cory to make a Fable because these guys are going to put me to sleep. I feel so privileged now. Like, I'm just like, if it's not entertaining, I don't even want to watch it now.
I mean, that's a huge compliment for me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, why don't you do it?
Ooh.
I gotta learn how to play
Yeah.
the game first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need somebody to get me there first.
That's when so one of my things that I do on YouTube is I do like deep dive research because I'm a dweeb, and I will do like deep dive research. I'll watch speed runs of stuff that I've never played before. I'll like go on Game Facts and read every single fact that's there. And I'll like I do so much research so that I don't miss anything because
Right.
I hate, like, I'm a completionist. I don't want to put out a YouTube video and miss something. Like that's a really like, ugh.
I got a funny story about that too. During the
Don't tell me I
Legend of
missed something.
Dragoon.
Don't tell me I missed something.
No, you did. No, I definitely wouldn't know.
Series, man.
I wouldn't know. You're not gonna get that from me. I wouldn't know. There was a part where later on he was like, there was some stuff that we missed. We'll go just way back here and get it because I know exactly what you're saying about like you hate missing things. He went back a couple of discs to get it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm gonna just wait. I'd still watch the entire video because it was cool to see, but I was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna sit that one out.
Yeah, that took me a long time.
He was like, if you need help getting through the map, just comment on the YouTube. I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time where it is.
Yeah, that was that sucked. I added like another 8 hours or something onto my playthrough.
Oh man, yeah.
Pretty wild.
It's super interesting. I was telling Breed and the listeners too, just even if you don't play Legend of Dragoon or any of the other games, just the walkthroughs alone are just so fun to watch. Like you should definitely go back and check some of those out. Like the Legend of Dragoon story is amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah, to have somebody entertaining telling it, it's just like it's so good. You don't even need to play the game to watch it. Like the story is so amazing.
I think the voice acting is a little cringy some of the time.
My wife looks and like this is what she says every time you do something just so funny, but she'll just be like, why is he like this?
She says that a lot too. She'll be like, she'll just look, I'll do something and she'll be like, why are you like this? I don't have enough time in the day to say why. So
he does. He'll mess with her in the stream, and I'm just like, she's going to kill him in a second. I know that look of like, all right, you're about to get hit.
Yeah. Okay,
but yeah, I guess that wraps it up on YouTube. Unless there was something out in the YouTube that you want people to go look at, or anything that you wanted to.
No, I mean, if you're into like, I definitely would. So like, it's weird because I don't really like anything I make. But Legend of Dragoon series, I've had some people that are not interested in RPGs, are not interested in that game. Amanda, you probably have seen Amanda.
In chat. Yeah.
So Amanda like became obsessed with that playthrough, my playthroughs, like not really the game, I guess the game, but also she just became like so excited about this game, like #1 fan of it. Like every time she'd be at, like, she would be at every premiere because we premiered them on YouTube. She'd be there. She'd be like super invested in the story, the characters that were like, she loved it. I've never seen that much love for something I've made before. She was like, watched it right religiously, like
it is
as if it was like an episode of TV. She was like, I'm there. Yeah.
And I can back her up on that because I haven't watched the other ones yet just because I haven't had the games to play with it. But I can definitely vouch for the Legend of Dragoon that, like I said, I've said it on this podcast a couple of times. If even if you don't play the game or you don't feel like you'd be into it, just the story alone and then having somebody entertaining just going through it, it's an amazing time. I wish I was there for the YouTube lives, but those were good. That's a really good. I'm sure the rest are good too. Because I know like your advice videos and all that stuff, all of it's just really good. So
yeah, thanks.
Okay.
The Fire Red series is the one that I get the most people being like, when's the next one? Like when's the next series?
Really?
Yeah.
To check that out.
I would have guessed Legend of Dragoon.
Check that out.
Nobody really knows that. Nobody really knows Legend of Dragoon.
But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's been the story of my life.
There's Legend of Dragoons.
Well, the thing with that game is it has like a cult following, right? So my whole thing, like when I set out to make that series was like, if I can make cult fans like it, my series, then I did it well. Because the people that know that game, they know it inside and out, right? They're like,
yeah.
And people loved it. People were like, "Oh, I didn't even know that chest was there," and I played this game countless times. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
my
nigga did a good
favorite.
job. Heck yeah.
Yeah, he did do a really good job. The one that that I hated to do the most, but I was so glad I did it, was the part on the ship where you have to get the war amulet. I hated it. I told myself, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna leave. I didn't even know what the war god amulet was. And then something told me, you know what? Just do it. What do you got better to do? Just
And then you got the best item in the game.
Yes,
and you were like, "Oh,
yes.
okay, wow, yeah, that was yeah."
Yeah, because hit them X's wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, no.
Well, let's get into Twitch, because this is what I'm excited about. This is what I know the most of that you do, and we could talk about the chat, the nerd herd, and the stuff that you do on there, because I think a lot of, I don't know if I would consider it a lot of, but you do a lot of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Is that where your base mostly came from? Because I wasn't there for the beginning of your Twitch streams.
So I used to stream on YouTube, actually. Dude, I highly recommend this to anybody that's going to start streaming. Start streaming on YouTube. Start dual streaming on both. Like, do not just stream on Twitch. It is you will not be found on Twitch. You will be found on something like YouTube, though, and YouTube is like, they're huge. They have so many more active users in the gaming sphere. Like, stream on YouTube. But I used to stream, and that's coming from, I'm a Twitch partner. Stream on YouTube. I was doing really well actually on YouTube gaming. I had like 150 to 200 concurrent viewers at any one time when I was on YouTube, and that was awesome. That was crazy. Every stream like felt super fun and whatnot. And then, it started to slow down a little bit, but still. And then I had this Spider-Man stream where we played Spider-Man when it first came out, and that stream was popping off. I had like 500, 600 people watching. It was crazy. And somebody from Twitch was actually there watching, and they reached out after, and they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in Twitch partner? I was watching your stream today, and I really liked it, and maybe we'd like to have you." And they did an interview, and then they offered me Twitch partnership, and I took it. And I have not hit 100 concurrent viewers by myself ever on Twitch, and I've been on it for 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like it's
It's
pretty
really hard to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch is way harder to grow anything on.
So with Twitch partnership, does that mean that you can't YouTube at all?
Can't stream anywhere else. Yeah.
Okay.
You affiliates, you can't stream the same content anywhere else, but that rule's broken all the time.
Right.
But yeah, partner, you're just not allowed to stream.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so most of your so with that means most of yours came from YouTube?
Most of them came from YouTube, and the content that I was doing on YouTube at the time was I was doing Good Morning Azeroth. Azeroth is like the planet World of Warcraft is set on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing like Good Morning Azeroth, and I was doing every morning. I'd wake up and we'd play WoW for a few hours, and that was my stream. So all of my viewers, I think almost all of them, at some point came from WoW or played WoW, or one of those.
Okay.
And WoW's a great stream game because there's so much downtime. Like you can very easily be playing the game and talking to chat and like focusing on chat, no problem. Like,
right. I ran into that problem playing Apex.
Yeah,
we was doing that and trying to reach chat, and I'm like, oh god, I'm getting killed over here.
It's hard.
Yeah, that Overwatch. Like Overwatch is impossible. Like I guess you can when you're like looking for a match, right? But like when you're playing that, you can't look at chat, and if you do, people are going to be like, oh, you're losing.
Right.
And like,
Shut up, man.
I don't know. Like some people, they made a career on those games, and I don't understand. It's just not my style stream, anyways.
Right, exactly.
Some people are just good enough at the game where they can just play it all and not focus on their chat, and it's totally cool because they're just so good at the game. But I'm garbage, so I need to talk to chat.
I can't argue against it or vouch for him because, like I said, I don't know what's good or not good in those games. I just know he plays it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's most of my viewers. That's where they came from. That's where home is for them.
And speaking of the viewers, because the chat is so cool. That's an amazing chat. Talk a little bit about your chat, and well, I guess you said where they came from, but how long some of those people have been there for you, and
I've been streaming full time now for 3 years, and I have, I'd say, probably 10 to 15 people that have been there the whole 3 years, and not just like hanging out and like watching streams, right? But like they're on my Patreon. They've been subscribed for 3 years. They're as invested in my stream as I am, you know. And I call all my viewers the nerd herd, because we're all nerds. We're all the nerdiest nerds that you know what I mean.
Right.
You know, we go out in public and we smell bad. You know what I mean? But beyond that, what's really great about my viewers, I think in particular the community that I've grown, is how diverse it is. And me and Alana were actually just talking about that. We have a really diverse group of viewers. Like, we are not at all from the same walks of life, you know. Like, everyone is so different in so many different ways, but for whatever reason, I guess the common denominator for a stream community is the streamer, right? I'd like to think that that's something that I do well, is I'm able to bridge, you know, gaps that people might have. We talk about politics all the time in stream, which is like a big no-no, right? Like, a lot of people are like, no, I don't talk about politics on my stream. So they're afraid of losing viewers. I'm not. I'm the people that I would be losing for my political beliefs or my morals or whatever are people that I don't really want anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are people, you know, I'm just going to say it. I hate Trump. But there are people in my community that support him, you know.
That just made Breed so happy.
Oh yeah, I hate him very much. Very much. But we have people in our community that support him. And one of the things that I always try to do is, like, I want to know why. And I don't want to, because everybody comes from a different life experience. Everyone has a different lens on the way they're viewing things. You know, everyone's got different opinions. Everyone's seen different things. We all have our reasons for believing the things we believe or whatever. And I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm talking to people, and if they're willing to hear me and my thoughts, and willing to stick around without getting defensive or, you know, offensive or whatever, then those are people I want around me. People that have decided that, like, they might not agree with me, but they'll hear it out. And I owe them the same courtesy, you know.
I understand.
And unless, like, I yell at them and tell them to get their heads out of their asses, which is what happened. Like,
I've seen small rants. I haven't seen nothing crazy. Have you had a really crazy situation yet? Besides the one that you just told us earlier, have you had a situation where you just really went crazy on somebody in the chat?
No, never on anybody. There was, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a tweet. I woke up one morning and there was a tweet. Of course, there was a tweet from Trump that said something about how he was going to be sending in military into cities to put down these protests. And I came into my stream and I was like, this is it. Like, if you support him, like, get the fuck out. Like, I was like, I can't take it anymore. Like, I was like, I'm done. There's nothing you can say anymore. And then I had somebody who has been around for years was kind of like, well, you know, I support him. And I was like, what the, and I ended up talking to them in DMs, because I was like, I told him to leave. Like, I straight up told him to get out, like, get out of here. And then I talked to him in DMs and he kind of like said his reasoning. And I was like, I don't agree with you at all, but your reasoning isn't hatred. You know what I mean? And like, fine. I don't know. Ignorance can be educated, right? Like, people that are ignorant of something or whatever can learn. Hatred, I don't know if that can be unlearned, you know?
Right.
So I was like, if you're willing to, like, listen to why I'm angry or why so many of us are, then I'm willing to have you stay around. And he did. And I hope that he's listened a little bit, but That was like probably the most ranty I got.
Okay. I always wondered it because I've seen
My
your
dog was
small
hiding.
rants. You scared the dog.
Yeah, he was hiding. He was like, "Oh, I'm not going in there." I at one point I like smashed my desk because somebody said something, and I was like, "Fuck that!" And I like smashed my desk, and it's like it's not.
Dodge.
I like I try to keep my cool all the time. Like I don't I know some people that get tilted at games and they'll smash their keyboard, whatever. I'm not like that. I'm just like, okay, cool, let's try again. So yeah, it was like one of the few times that I've been on stream, and that was recent. That was like a couple months ago, right?
I caught the masculine guy. I remember that wasn't like a crazy flip out, but there was a guy that had masculine in his name, and he came in there, and what was he doing? Something about calling everybody soft, or I don't know. He said something to you about being soft.
He was probably calling me a soy boy. Like
maybe.
Yeah. There's you get those guys that'll come in and be like, "Oh, you're a cuck. You're a soy boy."
Yeah, it was probably along those lines. That was a small rant too. I've only seen you get like real small ranty with it.
I wonder what I said in that one. Because sometimes with trolls, I just kind of let them go. And like,
yeah, it was more of like, oh, look at you, you're real masculine. Like you just making little jokes like that. It wasn't nothing crazy, but yeah. But yeah. After that, when I seen that, I was like, I wonder. One day I gotta ask him if he's ever really just had to go off on somebody in these chats.
I had somebody that came in, and Lana was sitting next to me when we were playing a game, and he came in and he was saying something about like, oh, that girl deserves a real man or blah blah blah. And I turned to her and I was like, you deserve a real man. You see him in chat right now. He's waiting for you. He's ready. And she was like, "Oh, I'm good." I was like, "You." So, like that's fun. That's fun to do. And until it gets like it's fun to like beat the troll a little bit. Until they start getting like attacked. Like you can attack me. You can come into my chat. You can attack me all you want.
And they do.
And it's cool. But like the minute you attack anybody else in my chat, no, that's it. Like I'm
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me say, not it's hilarious when they come in and attack him in that way. I mean, his chat, the good chat. When his chat gets on him, oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. I remember, well, you showed the video of when you were doing the advice video, and you were showing how, like, remember you was outside talking on the yeah, and somebody in the chat said, I just want to punch him in his face right now. And when you stop and look at the camera, it is so hilarious.
Somebody was like, oh yeah, he's got the most punchable face.
Back to the chat. Like you were saying, some of those people have been there for a long time, just long time supporters and stuff. And a lot of them are so funny. Like, I don't want to say anybody's names or anything, but a lot of them are so funny from the way that they pick with you. And you can tell the way that you pick back, and y'all, like, you can tell that y'all have had this like really solid relationship for a very long time. Like, it's really good to see. It's fun to see. And like I said, for me personally, you've always just been really good to me. I'm not a high clowning around with people, like saying, I just never played that way, like picking with people and stuff. So I'm kind of a square like that. So I probably come off like such a square.
Don't worry, I'll pick on you. That's what you want. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. I come off like such a square. Everybody's just having fun, clowning. I'm like, oh yeah, Cory, you did good right there. You're killing that.
It's true, he does. And I'm always like, I see you. The only person in the chat being like, nice job, Cory.
You're appreciated.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
You are appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. He's the only one. Like I'll like do something really cool, and everyone will be like, about time. and there's Anthony being like, yeah, dude, let's go.
I'm genuinely so amazed too. I'm just like, nobody else is this excited. Like, I'm amazed. This is so cool.
It's great. I love it. Pleasure to have around. Like, honestly. And everyone that I've talked to is like super happy you're there too, because I think Amanda remembered you from the Legend of Dragoon stuff, or at least like remembered you talking about it. And she's like, yeah, already like that's obviously a good person. Like, if he likes Legend of Dragoon, he's a good person. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, everyone. There actually is a problem though, because I am so banty with people back and forth, that sometimes I forget that some people don't know I'm not being serious. You know?
Right.
And I'll somebody clicking on checking the stream out for the first time, or we were doing something in WoW the other day, and I was like messing around, and he was like, yeah, I would love to join your guilds, and like he died on the fight, and I was like, well, now you're not, like just like messing around, and the guy got like legitimately upset, and like it's just
joking around.
Yeah, like I'm just messing around. But yeah, there have, and I think you were there, Anthony, the other day. We were doing Among Us. Were you?
Probably. I was there for a bunch of the Among Us.
So we did Among Us at the end, I think Saturday night or something, and I was getting like really mad at the game, and like was like calling people out and being like, "You guys are the worst at this game," like blah blah blah. Like and then afterwards, I'm like, if anybody clicked on that stream and like wanted to see what I was doing, they were probably like, "Wow, this guy's the worst." But like, the people I'm playing with, yeah, like they know I'm playing it up. Like it's part of the thing. Like,
yeah,
they mess up and I'm like, "You're the worst person I ever played this game." Like, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. So you have to have to keep track of it sometimes.
It's hard though, because there are people, and I can be honest. I'm one of those people that almost get your feelings hurt easily. Like, oh dang, like I should chill out, like so. Yeah. I it's hard sometimes for people to, and seeing you, like I know now, like if I did just join in and that was happening, I'd be like, oh yeah, I better not say anything.
Yeah.
But
it's funny too, because I'm like super sensitive. I'm really sensitive. If somebody's mad at me or something, I'll think about it for days. Like
I do too.
The fact that I just brought up that story about how that guy got upset and was like, oh, at that, I've been thinking about it since then. Like that's man, it's really bad. Like we had a guild fallout, which just happens. It's one of the things that happens in WoW. But we had a guild fallout, and that was almost 2 years ago, and I still think about it. Like I'm still like, wow. Oh man, I wonder how those guys are doing. Like it's like it's just how streaming works. It's how everything, I always call it a rotating door. Like, you're gonna have people coming and going all the time. Right. It is what it is. But it still doesn't stop me from sitting back and being like, I haven't seen so and so in a long time. I wonder how they are, and which is like a weird. I don't know if people do that normally. I'd be curious. I've never actually talked to streamers about that. I don't know if I'm just a weirdo or what.
Well, I have, and that's why I'm saying I have issues with that too. One, I don't like ever making, and I guess maybe that's where it comes from with me not joking around with people, because I guess because I'm sensitive, like you were saying, like I'm sensitive, and I don't want to make other people feel, so I just never been that type to play like that. But I also had like the weird things that bother me, like another Twitch streamer that I listen to helped me set up because I think through PlayStation you can't see notifications from people following you or donations. So I was telling her, I was like, look, I got to stream tomorrow. I really don't know how to set that up, but it's going to bother me if people follow me or send donations and stuff, and I can't read it and say thank you. Like it's going to freak me out if I can't thank them for that. And she, thankfully she helped me set all that up, but it would bother me so bad if I couldn't be like, oh, thank you for following me. Like, oh man, it would have been so rough. So I kind of understand a little bit of what you mean by that bothering you if you feel like you hurt somebody's feelings, or you might be light-skinned, man. You might have to.
I am. Yeah.
You might be one of us. Look, Bree doesn't know. He doesn't care.
I don't care. What you mean?
I'm about hurting people's feelings.
No emotions?
No emotions.
I wish I had that. Tell you what.
A little bit.
Man, wish I knew how to hurt someone's feelings.
But what else do you plan with Twitch? I know you got some cool October things coming up. I know the Resident Evil was fun. I know you had like an issue with the ending of it. I thought
Walking Dead?
It was fun to watch. Yeah. I said Resident Evil, huh? Walking Dead. I had a fun time watching that. Which one?
Walking Dead was, I loved that game. It was great. But yeah, the ending, I was like, come on. I was mad.
Mad. He was mad. He did not like it.
I was like, this is like, they started doing some wonky stuff with the writing, and then they made it so that like the choices they gave you the illusion of choice, right? The whole game is you play this game, and every single dialogue tree changes the way the game is supposed to work, and blah, blah, blah. Then you get to the end and you realize there was literally no choice. Like everything was just an illusion of choice. The characters were going to go down the path that they went down no matter what. And that sucks.
I sat and played this whole game just for you to Figure out it was determined for me the whole time.
And I knew it too, because like the end episode was something called like, I don't even, something alone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I bet you, as soon as I started the game, I was like, I bet you this character, this one character in particular is going to be alone by the end, no matter what you do. So like, I saved everybody. Everybody's alive at the end, right? It didn't matter. She still ended up on her own. Like, I saved everyone.
Oh, he's not playing. He was really mad about it. And here I am in the chat. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was really cool. And then there's a part where like you're walking through, because Walking Dead, so there's the walkers everywhere, the zombies everywhere. And the guy like has a meat cleaver and suddenly starts just knocking all these down like it's nothing. Where like the entire game, they're like, oh, there's a walker, be careful. Like they see one of them. And then at the end, he's like 20, dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going for the high score for? I
He
don't
gets bold all of a sudden. The game's
like, what are you doing? And then so but it was good. It was good. I'm glad I played it.
All right. So before you get into the Resident Evil, I got two quick funny stories. I'm gonna make them real quick. But I can't do horror stuff at all. I don't do well with it. Especially, I know Breed's heard this story a couple times. I said it on my stream Sunday, but I've had two instances where I smooth blacked out. If it gets to guts and limbs and stuff, I'm gonna pass out. And I had two situations. One, I don't know if you've heard of the movie Green Inferno.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
The cannibal one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you remember when they cut up the big dude in the beginning?
Yeah.
I was in the movie theater, blacked out. Like I was sweating, everything went black, and I passed out. So my brother's tapping me, like getting me up and stuff, and I'm like, is this almost over? He's like, no, it's like the very beginning. He's like, but I'll give you the keys to my car. You want to go sit in the car? And I'm like, I'm scared now. Like, I don't want to sit in the car by myself at night. Like,
oh man.
So I'm sitting in the movie theater like this, and then closing my ears, and it's so bad. The second was at work. We're not even supposed to have headphones, so I can't tell them like what's really wrong. But I'm listening to a podcast, and they're talking about the Jack the Ripper murders. And I'm listening to them get into detail about what's going on with this. So I'm sitting at the work, and I'm sweating, like pouring sweat. And my vision is going like blurry and black. I'm like, oh, this is going to get bad. And instead of just turning it down, because I have a point where I can touch my pants and hit the turn down button. And instead of doing that, I don't know why, I just kept going, and I just black out right there on the line. So everybody's carrying me out. They're taking off jackets and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I'm, I get in there, it's like, "Did you eat breakfast?" And I just lie. I'm like, "No, I didn't eat breakfast." It was like, "That's probably what it is." I'm like, yeah, I can't tell them I have headphones in. I'm not supposed to be listening to nothing. So with those stories, this is where I'm going with this, because you said you're going to stream Resident Evil. I let them talk me into in chat playing Resident Evil 7 next Sunday, and I don't know how I'm going to.
You can't.
Crazy.
You are gonna pass out.
Not gonna do it at all.
I don't think you're gonna pass out on stream. So like, make sure somebody is ready to clip that, because that is content.
Thank you. You see, I thought he was gonna tell me you should maybe not do that and look out for your well-being, but no,
it's content. But also, like, you'll know. I mean, it starts out. You'll know. You'll have time to be like, no, you won't have time. I don't know if you should stream that. Have you ever played that, Breed?
No, I've never played it before. I actually will be only there for like 30 minutes, and I'll dip in and out.
Okay. That game is fantastic. Like one of the best games. It's so good. But it's intense.
It is.
That's what I've been hearing. So I told Anthony I'll probably avoid it at all costs. I'll let him have that, and then I'll just dip in and out.
See, I love horror. Like I'm a big horror guy. I love horror movies. I love horror games. I'm very jumpy. So like I'll be playing a horror game, and the entire time I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, I love it. I love that adrenaline that comes through right after you get scared. I'm into it. I used to work in a haunted house, like as one of the scare actors or whatever. Yeah, I used to do all that. And I'd like being scared. I like nightmares. I like when I have nightmares at night.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's something to talk about. You like when you have nightmares?
I do. Yeah, because when you wake up from a nightmare, you will never have that moment of relief that it was just.
Oh, you're definitely. That's true. That's true.
You
wake up and it's like, oh man, I was just asleep.
You're like, oh man, but it was kind of fun.
It
Like,
was
you're
intense
like,
though. Got my
that was-
adrenaline rushing.
yeah. And
Okay.
I'm the same way. Like, I like really big storms.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that stuff. Not in some ways, right? But like, yeah, that adrenaline gets going. You're like, ah, finally, I'm alive. You know?
No, I don't know the feeling. I hate it.
Adrenaline. You know, I like
Not
it. It feels good.
You're an adrenaline junkie.
In some ways, yeah. As long as it's not up high or anything.
I was just about to ask. So you're into like jumping out of planes and stuff?
Nope. I don't know if I could do that. Nope.
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to see how far you would take it.
But I've been on like I like now I'm afraid of cars. Like I don't actually like cars anymore. I was in a pretty bad accident.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Last year in like December.
Oh, happy all right, man.
Yeah, I rolled my car. Yeah, I went to my 10-year high school reunion and somebody did something to my drink and I drove home and don't remember anything.
Oh
and
my
woke up to me in a car that was rolling.
That's
It wouldn't just be the car like that. I'd be scared. Like that would bother me drinking. Like after.
Well,
something
I don't.
like that.
So I don't really drink anyways. So
Right.
like I just don't really drink now. And luckily everything's closed. So
Right.
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. So like I don't. Yeah, I'm just not really into it anymore. But yeah, my car like rolled a few times, and I guess I like kicked open because I remember having to like kick up. I had to kick the door up and crawl out of my car that way because I couldn't get it out normally,
Mhm.
right? And I remember like crawling out and I like hit another car and I like ran over to that guy to make sure he was okay, and he was. And he like wrote in the police report that like that was the first thing that he remembers is me running over to his car to make sure he could get out and like he was all set, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gave me sobriety tests and all this stuff, and I wasn't drunk at all. It was just
Mhm.
whatever somebody did.
Mess
Yeah.
you up.
Oh yeah.
That's
So now I'm
crazy.
like I'm afraid of cars. I don't want to drive. But I still like snowmobiles and like stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Little
That's
smaller
kind of.
vehicle.
And Bree, we were just talking to a streamer, the streamer that helped me set that Streamlabs up. She was telling a story yesterday that was kind of crazy about her husband was getting his beard, I guess, shaved with a razor.
trimmed or
Straight
something.
razor.
Yeah, and the barber
Yeah.
had a heart attack and
Heart attack mid shave.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Mid shave. Straight up had a
Mid-shave.
heart attack.
And now he won't. What did she say? He won't shave his beard anymore. Like he
Yeah,
just.
no, I'd have a big ass
I
beard.
would, I would never let anything about my neck.
Yeah.
Walk around looking like
Yeah.
Gandalf or something. Yeah,
Exactly,
no, I'm good.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
wow, that's horrible. Wow.
That's horrifying. Yeah, that's scary. That's a worst. That's a
Exactly.
fear.
It is.
Imagine the barber though waking up, like hopefully.
Oh,
and
he
being
didn't.
like,
Oh yeah, he was good. Oh, he didn't.
No, remember she had to clarify it. We thought that she said that he did, but she was like, "Yeah, no, he didn't make it."
well, at least he didn't wake up and go, "Oh, I slit the throat of my." You know,
That's
Yeah.
that's true.
that would make you feel bright sides.
Yes,
Bright side of
exactly,
things.
Exactly.
He didn't kill anyone.
Exactly. But which Resident Evil did you say you was going to start?
I think I'm doing 3 this year again.
Okay.
I did it last or February or whenever it first came out. And it was really good. I liked it. Now I like trophies. I like getting trophies. So now I got to go and get some trophies.
Collect some
Exactly.
trophies.
And I've been excited about the Spooktober stuff, and I actually scared the hell out of myself. So, Bree, you've seen the pop-ups, right? When somebody donates or subscribes or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
he changed it. And I didn't think I seen one when somebody followed you, and I seen it change. But by the time I got off work and he was streaming the Walking Dead, it didn't hit me that he changed everything. Like I wasn't thinking anything about it. I've got my AirPods in, and I'm in the kitchen, and I think mine lags behind from where you are.
If you're on
And-
mobile, yeah.
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 So a lot of times I'll send whatever, and I'll set the phone down. I'm in the kitchen because I know it's going to take a minute for him to see it anyways. And then just this scream pops up, like somebody's screaming. I dropped groceries out of my hand.
Yeah.
I was like, Lord, that almost gave me a heart attack.
That's even louder for me, by the way. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
it's
seen
quiet for you guys. That every time that goes off, I'm like, yeah. Yep. But
And
you
they're
gotta,
good.
You know,
His chat strategize. I swear they're doing it purposely.
they are.
strategize for the most quiet time in the game, and then somebody will send a tip or a donation or something, and
Yep, they'll wait.
that's how amazing his chat is.
That's hilarious.
I remember one time I was playing Until Dawn. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or played that game.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't
Yeah,
played it.
That game's great. But I was playing that. This is a few years ago, and I had this. This guy that hung out for a little bit. He doesn't come anymore, but he hung out. This guy tipped me unbelievable amounts of money to the point where we thought he was fake at first, but he was real. It was real money. He owned an oil company in Texas, or an oil. He sold something, right? So yeah, he owned a lot of money. And he would come in and he made me jump and then cry because I jumped and I looked at his tip and it was like $1,000, and I was like,
Wow.
what? Like I was like, I jumped and was like, oh, that's funny. And then like I looked at the screen and I was like, that's weird. And then kept playing and then was like, what? Like, it was like, like it didn't click that was that much zeros. I thought it was $10 at first.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, thank you.
Well,
thank you so much for the tip. Like and then like I looked again and I was like, that is money. And
I have more zeros.
Yeah, and he's not lying. I've seen somebody tip. I want to say it was. I might be stretching with 500. It was like $300 or $500 one time.
Oh yeah, that's a couple. A couple people will do stuff like that. Blows my mind.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean, Bree, by his chat. Just really, he's got a really good community.
That's
and
awesome.
He says he has a small base because of, I guess, where your mind is where you want to be, you know. But that base it's a really, really good loyal
solid base.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it's very solid.
Base. That's why I started making those advice stuff too, right? Because I was doing the stream stuff is because I was like, you know what? I've been full time now for 3 years, and like I have to understand that's huge. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, oh, who am I to give advice, right? Like I'm not ninja or whatever, you know. But then I'm like, dude, I am literally turning on a stream and playing video games or whatever for 3 years full time. Like I'm able to pay my bills and like this is my life. That's crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I am glad you said that because I wanted to ask you that. Oh, go ahead, Bree. Did you want to ask something?
No, you're good.
Okay. I was going to ask you, I looked at, because somebody was showing me Soulja Boy's stream because there was something, he was just acting wild on this about Among Us. So I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. I'm going to check it out. Well, I noticed he can't read his chat. Like it's almost impossible. So I was wondering with you, would you still want to get to that point? Like, is that something that you would like? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how would you feel about having a community you can't really?
I don't know. I don't know. My hope is that I don't know. I think because I've wondered that too. Like, do I ever even want my community to be that big? And like, yes, because I don't like relying on people for money. I would rather rely on like a company. Like I'd rather sell access to my audience rather than like sell my audience, you know?
Right.
And like that's the only way that I can keep doing this, right? Is if I make money, if I make more money, whatever. That's just how life works.
Yeah.
You know, I want a house one day. I can't do that with whatever is going on right now, right? It needs to grow, it needs to get bigger. I need to sell access to my audience through a company or what have you. So like in some ways, yes. But I don't want my chat to be like going so fast that I can't see anything. I don't want the inability to connect with anybody because like that's so important to me. It's like I honestly don't really have like a lot of friends in real life anymore. I'm 29. Like I don't. My friends in college have moved on. I don't really know anyone anymore. And like finding a friend is like, how do you do that? What do you do? Like,
right.
Like,
for real.
Hey, you want to be friends?
Yeah.
Like, person's gonna be like, nah, I'm good. Like, right? Like, so, oops, sorry. So like, I don't know. I definitely use my stream also as a way of like connecting and meeting new people and seeing what they're about, and that's been the best part of my stream for me. The fact that like I could probably go to any state and know somebody that lives there is really cool.
Right, right. Or country.
Like there's so many countries that I could go to and like meet up with somebody.
Yes.
And that's like, that's an unbelievable thought to me, you know? That's so cool.
And Bree, that's what he was saying earlier when he said that there's like their community is so diverse. There are so many people. Like I see probably more people from different countries than I do America in his chat. Like there's a lot of people from different countries, genders, races, like everything. It really is one of the most diverse.
You connect with so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of my mod team is I hope a reflection of that too. You know, my mod team is also diverse. There's like, which is good. The more viewpoints I can have on any moderation type decisions or whatever is good. And there have been times where somebody will come into chat and say something, and some of the mods have a problem, and other people are like, "Hey, listen, it's a different vibe there, right?" Because I'm from there. We have somebody from Russia who has been around forever, right? And like anytime somebody comes in speaking Russian, there's Asgrim speaking Russian back and like welcoming them into the chat, saying, "Hey, you know," in Russian, being like, "It's just English here. The streamer only knows English," and like poking at me, right, by being like, "Yeah, he's too dumb to know Russian." Like that's great, right? Or like we have German, a German mod, we have a Portuguese mod or a Brazilian mod who speaks Portuguese. I mean, there's so many different people that,
right?
Yeah, and it's great. I love it. It's definitely the highlight of streaming for me.
That is awesome. Okay, I know Breed's got a few things he wanted to ask outside of this. Some cool, conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah.
But before we get there, I have one more question involving Twitch stuff, and then we'll let Breed take over with that. I wanted to know, because I know for me personally, setting this up, Twitch was not easy at all. And man, it's been, especially going through PlayStation, some of the cool things that I want to do, I'm realizing I can't do yet.
Yeah.
How has it been for you when you first started? Oh, I guess yours would be YouTube, I guess, starting out. How was it difficult for you setting all this up to begin with?
But
no. You are the leader of the nerd herd, so I mean.
Well, I mean, like I want to say no because I started so basic. You know, it was just me, like my camera and the game, and then I added this, and then I added that, and then so like no, but I also I've taught myself everything that I can do, right? I've taught myself how to edit, I guess. I've taught myself how to do like some After Effects stuff. I've taught myself metadata. I've taught, which is, I think, what you have to do if you want to stream or make content or whatever, is you just have to, the more things you can learn, the better, right?
Right.
But yeah, I still have issues with, I'll go into a stream and I'll see somebody have something really cool on their stream, and I'm like, how the hell do I do that? Yeah, so like, I think that's an important thing. But you already said that you asked somebody, right? How to like help you with alerts.
And that was the only place that we went, because I've done everything that we've done. And for the podcast too, Breed's been teaching himself how to edit the podcast, and he's about to teach himself how to edit videos. We've been doing everything ourselves. But It was coming the last day before the Sunday, and I just could not figure out how I'm going to be able to hear the alert. So I just went to her, and that almost killed me, because, and she's super sweet. She would never make me feel a way about doing it. But I just like, I really don't want to ask anybody. But she was really sweet and helped. But it's just hard. I've been going through YouTube videos and Google, just trying to set up everything I can. But
you got to ask. Like you got to ask. The worst that they're going to say is no. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be like, oh, this guy wants to waste my time. They're literally, if people are too busy, they're just gonna be like, I'm too busy, I can't do it.
Right.
They're not gonna think twice about it,
Right. And that would go back to me with the overthinking. But I don't like bothering people. Yeah, I hate making people like feeling like I'm bothering somebody, or they only want to talk to me because they want something to help me.
If I click on your DM and I'm too busy, I'm just gonna go do something else.
Right. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
I which I'm really bad at, by the way. Like that is one of the worst things about me, is I'll get a notification, I'll click on it, and I'll be like, ooh yeah, I gotta respond to that. Gone.
Me and Bree are the exact same way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We'll open text messages and be like, oh yeah, I'll get to that in a minute.
Yep. I'll get text, a voicemail. I'll like get a voicemail from like my grandmother or something, and she's like, hey, I just wanted to talk. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm busy right now. I'll give her a call back.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. That reminds me, guys. I actually have to go. If you don't mind, I have a phone call I need to make.
Phone call to make.
Okay, no problem.
Make
No
sure I
problem.
talk to my grandmother real quick.
Yeah, that's all I had. I was just wondering if it was just as hard for you
Yeah.
starting out as it was.
Yeah, everything's hard. Everything's hard until you start doing it. You know, streaming was really hard for me when I first started. So I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And now it's like one of the easiest things I could possibly think of doing.
Right. And I was lucky.
So
Oh, go ahead.
I just think that's how anything works. I think it's hard when you first start, and every single time you do it, it just becomes a little bit easier and a little bit easier, and then eventually it's second nature, and you're like, this is fine.
Right. And I got lucky enough that I think I got lucky that I chose wrestling because even when I hashtagged it on Twitter and stuff, I noticed a bunch of people came in for wrestling. I think that community is so hardcore that
Yeah.
a lot of them came in there and was just talking wrestling. And I also got bailed out by everybody with it being my first stream, came to show love and support and everything. So I'm also preparing myself. All right, second stream might not be like that. Like a lot of people are going to duck off now. Like it was like the come show love and support. People got lives.
I'm kind of wondering how I missed it though, to be honest with you. Like I need to like fix that on my end.
Oh no, it's definitely no problem. I never ask anybody to come through.
No, I've
ever.
Okay, but you should.
Yeah,
I know that's a weird thing to like trust, but like you got to do it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? The only way people are going to know you is if you say it. Like I wouldn't have known you were going to stream or whatever if I didn't ask, right? But if you had just been like, but it goes hand in hand though, because if you were to be in chat being like, oh, I'm going to stream. Actually, for me, that's not true. But for some people,
I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. I wouldn't announce the podcast on your chat. I left that up to you whether you wanted to say that or not. I would not have gone in the chat and brought up the podcast thing. Like this is I personally wouldn't promote myself in other people's things.
Some people get really weird about self-promotion. Like if you're like, oh yeah, like, oh I was just doing a YouTube video or whatever. Some people get really weird about that, and I don't. I used to think that it's like if you self-promote in somebody else's chat, it's like the streamer's throwing a party and you're going into their party and being like, hey guys, I'm also throwing a party. Do you want to come to mine instead? Like that's how it felt. But then I realized that like if people are willing to leave that first party, it probably means that first party wasn't very good.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, oh well, you know. So I have no problem with people's advertising in my stream or saying that as long as it doesn't become like that's the only thing they're doing or they're doing it a lot.
Right.
Like if people are gonna leave me, that's my fault, you know.
Right. And I did get that vibe from you because I think I told you, Bree, there was a couple times he's like, oh yeah, put it in Discord when you drop your podcast and put it in Discord when you do your stream and stuff. And I was like, I don't know.
You still haven't.
Still haven't. Yeah, I just felt like I was stepping on people's toes. Even though you said it, it just didn't feel right. I was just like, I don't know about that.
No. But he extended the offer.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I didn't feel any kind of way badly about. Of course, I would love for you to come watch stream because when Bricky showed up, oh my god, that Bricky could tell you that felt so good. I'd probably freak out if you showed up. I would have got nervous, but just the support that you showed through everything was like I couldn't ask for anything more. Just taking the time to answer questions that I had or to give me advice. Like I don't know if you know how much that like don't let that 0 views bother you because it would have. So like just the advice and everything has already been doing this was crazy because I really didn't expect a reply. I just really thought I didn't think he was going to just say something rude. I was just like, he's not going to reply to this.
Yeah, I don't know why. Of course I don't know. Maybe other people. I don't know. I've never felt like that though.
Right.
Like I don't know. I get good vibes from you, and I want to do what I can to help you. Yeah. For sure.
And you have, and it's very, very appreciated. I could say that from me and this podcast. It's been very appreciated. But I know, Bree, you want to get into your stuff. I don't want to keep him up too late. He's an hour ahead of us. So I know you want to get into some small alien talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I have any conspiracy. I just have like I I know since you're in the games and stuff like that, most people who are in the games and stuff like that, like you said, I think you said you were in the conspiracy and stuff like that, and aliens and stuff like that. Like, what are your beliefs like on aliens? I'm a huge alien
Oh man,
like believer. Like, I believe they are here.
I
Like 1000%.
we went to go drop our ballots off, and we walk. It's a small town, so we walk everywhere because it's great, and there's a ton of restaurant, whatever. And we were walking, and there was like somebody stuck a sticker onto like one of the street signs, and it said "We are not alone." And I like took a picture of that. That was literally like 2 hours ago. So yeah, no, I 100% I believe in aliens. I think it's like naive or whatever. I don't know what the word is, that it's just us, that we're alone, that like that. It's the same with like I don't know, I just this world is huge. This space is
I was about to say this galaxy, this whole like
unbelievable
space thing. Yeah,
brains can't even comprehend how large it is, right? And it's like
it would be super selfish of us to feel like we're just the only ones out here.
And I love the idea that like there's already aliens on Earth, you know? Like
I do too.
Love that.
Have you there's actually like there's a Canadian he was like a prime minister at one point. I don't know if you've heard about this or seen that video, but he does an interview and he talks about how like the aliens are like confirmed here and how they're like actually working with the world governments and stuff.
I saw that one.
Like a certain different types of ones that were here.
I remember seeing that. My Google's going off. Stop that. Yeah, no, I remember seeing that, and there was like a bunch of other ones where people were like essentially saying that they've had to hide stuff before, and that there's plenty of times where they've arrived, they've actually like come and gone like many times, and it's just like they have somebody that not somebody, but like these groups of people that are like meant to meet them, and like it's very
like chosen people and like that.
Yeah, like people that are like, you know, work
for the government.
Yeah, and they like go and they greet them, and they and
very
sure
Men in
nobody
Black.
else sees them. Yeah, it's very Men in Black. But like, dude, I think that's so cool. I
that's
always
what they're called, isn't it? Aren't they really called Men in Black? I thought I heard a podcast about that.
I don't know.
Men in Black.
They might be.
I mean, it was that. Yeah, that movie was like based on like the rumors. So
okay.
Yeah.
Hiding in plain sight.
I also like. I always say this, but I'm like, the only way that we will ever unite as like the human race is that we need a threat to the Earth itself.
Oh yeah, we need a common threat.
Yeah, we need like an outside invasion type thing that comes in, and that forces all of us to all work together. And instead of the U.S. and Canada, we all just become Earth, and then like, you know, and we have to fight off this alien threat that hopefully isn't too advanced, even though they got to us.
Yeah.
Dude, like, dude, I love it. I love it. All about it. I'm also a big believer in ghosts.
Ghosts? Oh yeah, I believe in ghosts
and
stuff
stream.
like that.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I've seen stuff that I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind that it's real.
I haven't seen stuff, but I've heard plenty of stories. I've heard plenty of stories about like demons and stuff like that, and people it's like seeing shadows, night terrors and stuff like that. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen and talked to like I could go into like so many ghost stories that I have, and the crazy thing is like I'm not exaggerating any of them. They're all like honest. They are exactly what happened.
We seen one live.
That sounds awesome.
Twitch,
I would definitely tune in for that.
There's been, so I lived in Boston for a little bit, and I moved, and there's a woman that follows me around. She's followed me around my entire life. When I was younger, my sister asked my mom who the lady was on Cory's back. She's like, who's the girl on Cory's back? And said it's like an older woman, and she's followed me forever. I guarantee you she's here right now. Like she follows me everywhere, and every single time that I like am alone or whatever, she's way more active, like way more active. We moved into this apartment, and we had just finished like decorating everything. It was me and Alana sitting on the couch, and we have like a glass door in our living room, right? And we were watching TV, and Alana was sitting like right here next to me on the couch, and I look over at the glass door and I see Alana's reflection, and then I realize that's not Alana's reflection. I'm looking at the glass panel. There are like these little panels in each, little squares, all these glass. And I'm looking at it. And for the longest time, I'm like sitting there staring at a face. And I'm trying to figure out how Alana is reflecting in that door. Because there's no way. Like the way that she's sitting, the position of the face. And I'm like sitting there staring at it. And then the minute I realized that's not her face, it was gone. And I just sat there and like grabbed Alana and I was like,
oh my goodness.
But it's always super weird because I never like, okay, so one time I did have a bad vibe, but typically I like get vibes from the thing. I've never ever felt like she's like wants to
That's what I was just about to ask.
Anything. Yeah.
Menacing or anything like that?
Nothing. It's always like a warm thing. Like, I mean, I shouldn't have gotten out of that car accident that I was talking about. I got out of that without a scratch on me.
Wow. Maybe
like
guardian angel type thing, maybe.
Right. Like I when I was younger, I hit my car. I slid on snow, and my car stopped like this close to a tree, like a big tree that I would have like been wrapped around. It just didn't hit the tree. Hit everything else but the tree, which was cool. But yeah, there's been I remember when I was younger, going through some quick ones real quick. There was my room was in the basement. Nobody was home. And, or I think people were sleeping or something. And, somebody opened my door to the basement and I was awake and I was like trying to fall asleep and I was in bed and they like opened the door and I heard them be like, Cory? And I was like, yeah. They're like, you okay? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then they shut the door and I was like, what was that? I've never heard that voice before. So I got up right away and I opened the door and there's nobody there. And I went upstairs and I'm like looking around the house and there's nobody there. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'd do. I'd leave the house. I'd be so scared.
I know. I'm looking at the red curtain in the back right now, just kind of scared, like just looking to see if something walks by it.
So I'm live all the time that I'm always like, I'm curious if there's ever something that's shown up on stream and people have missed it or whatever, right?
Your dog caught one.
But yeah, my dog caught one. Eleanor will sometimes like catch one. Occasionally we'll hear like this tapping coming from this wall right here, which literally just has my computer against like by it.
Which
like,
was what your dog was barking at too, over on that side of that wall that day.
Yep. And like and we were like, okay. But yeah, like I'm half expecting her like face to show up like in this crease or something,
That's what I'm keep looking
at.
Yeah,
me too. I keep ever since the story started. I feel like she's gonna pop up.
She's gonna pop up. I wish she would. I wish that she would show herself on camera or something, just so that I could see her and other people would see her or whatever.
Yeah. I would rather she did, just to be honest.
Yeah, that's wild.
So my great grandmother died before I was born, like right before. So that's kind of who I think it is.
Okay, it could be her spirit.
Yeah,
grandma.
Yeah, and I was dog sitting my parents' dogs when they went on vacation. Went to Florida one day or whatever, and I was sitting on the couch and they have this big, huge house, and it's like. The kitchen and living room are all huge, and there's the ceilings there aren't ceilings, they're just huge, like 100-foot ceiling. It's ridiculous. I didn't grow up in that house, let me tell you. Anyways, unfortunately. So I'm sitting alone with the two dogs, and I hear somebody in the kitchen say, Cory, and I whip around. I'm like, what was that? I'm like, okay. That was weird. I'm just hearing stuff now. It's fine. And I sat back down into the couch and we're watching stuff. And the dogs noticed the first one, but they didn't really care. They just kind of were there. And then I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching the show. And then like right here, I hear Cory, like confirming that it's me. And I swear I could like feel their breath. And both of the dogs shot up and they were like, huh? And like I was sitting there like, what? And I like was whipping around and And that was like the first time that I called my mom to be like, what's going on? And I like said the way that the woman said my name. And my great grandmother was from Alabama. And I said it with the accent that I heard her say it. And my mom's like, that's kind of how she would have said it, how she sounded. And I was like, I'm telling you, it's her.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I was just so scared to be alone.
I love it. I love it. I'm waiting for her to show up. But aliens, I wish that I haven't had any interactions with them.
Same either. I would like to.
Yeah. Just want to say hi.
That's it.
Like, well, the only one who kind of doesn't want that for y'all. I kind of want you to be safe and okay.
I'll be okay. I just want to see some technology. That's it.
Yeah. I just want to. Yeah.
Show me some cool stuff.
I just want to know. You know.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I just want to know.
I just wanted to confirm what I've always thought. Yeah. Just want to know that, like, I know for sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, out there.
I want to know where they're from. Maybe
learn some languages.
Yeah. Like, what are you guys? How long have you been here? You know, like if you watch Ancient Aliens, if anyone's ever watched that,
I know what you're talking about.
That show's great. Like the amount of stuff that's happened where you're like, wait a minute, and then like all of these different civilizations from all over the world that had no interaction with each other whatsoever, all have the same
like beliefs and stuff. Like kinda.
How does that happen? They all depict people with like
coming down from the stars.
Yeah, coming down from the stars, having glass on their head. Like it's the whole idea of where gods came from, right? It was these ancient civilizations saying somebody came down. Like that's wild. I find it really hard to believe that it's just coincidence that literally every single civilization that's ever existed
on different corners of the earth,
like
same beliefs and stuff, and same depictions of people and
before
names.
Before the invention of boats or writing or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
True. All right, Bree, you got anything else?
And
stuff.
I'm good. I don't have it. I have plenty of stuff on aliens, but I'm good for right now.
We'll have to try to get him to come back for a part 2 for a longer.
I already saying yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It saved me the anxiety of asking.
Yeah. Just tell me when.
Okay. Well, let's get into album of the week. I guess we can go over the one that you sent. You told me to do last week. Bro, please don't ever ask me to listen to Lil Yachty again. that was as bad as it sounded.
Bro, what you mean?
Look, we went into work. All right, so the album for the listeners and for Cory because he wasn't here was Lil Yachty's. What's the album?
Lil Boat. Lil Boat.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I turned it on and I'm getting into work.
Turned it off.
I turned it off. I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this." And then I told myself, "I got to listen to this for the podcast." So I came back from break and I put it in with some albums that I like because, like I was telling Cory earlier, we can't pull our phones out. We're dealing with chicken. Like you just can't touch your phone. It's impossible. Yeah. So whatever you got on, you're listening to. That's what it is. So I have 21 Savage album playing, and then Lil Yachty's come on, and just oh my god, there might have been one song that I was like, this is okay. I just didn't care enough to go back and find what song that was.
What song it was?
But you knew. I feel like you purposely knew my age.
Yeah.
I wasn't. And
I knew you weren't gonna like this at all.
Oh, so it was torture.
I just wanted to see if I was wrong, but I was right. You didn't like that.
Cory, do you know anything about Lil Yachty?
Lil Yachty?
I just did a quick Google search because I haven't heard them before.
He's a rapper.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
He got like Cheeto colored hair. He does something.
He like just came out with a new video like a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, I'm good on ice. I'm good. I don't want anything else to do with that.
See, I want to check him out now because I'm like, wait a minute.
Check him out. He got some good. He got some good songs.
I'm not one of those like old heads that's just like. Well, I used to be, but I'm not like I used to be a hardcore. If it's not Tupac or Snoop, I don't want to hear it. I've really opened my mind to different. Like, I'm cool with everything but country. Country's like very, very small in country music.
Draws a line at country.
Yeah, rock music, rap. The type of rap that you were just saying, to a degree, like depends on that. Just wasn't good. But I've opened my mind to a lot of things. So I was like, maybe Lil Yachty won't be as bad as I was thinking. It wasn't for me. I'll say that.
Okay, it's not for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, Cory, I know you was. I'm excited. I'm super excited to see what you're gonna.
All right.
But this is your favorite album.
Okay, so I don't know if listen. All right, I don't know if you guys are gonna like this album, because if this is something when I was younger, if somebody would have told me this was my favorite album, I would have been like, "Fuck you." So okay, Paul Simon's Graceland is, I think, one of the best albums of all time. Paul Simon, the album itself has incredible history. Like the story of how that album was made is actually absurd. Trying to think.
This name sounds really familiar, but I can't put
Paul
a face
Simon?
to it. Yeah, I know who this is. I can't put a face to it.
So, have you heard of Simon and Garfunkel?
Definitely haven't heard of Garfunkel.
Yes. Old folk, you know. So Simon and Garfunkel. Paul Simon is the Simon. It's, it's so weird how, man, I wouldn't have said this so long ago, but in the past few years, Paul Simon's music is just like I don't know. It's hit me in a way where I'm like, okay, but Graceland in particular is really cool because of the music. So Ladysmith Black Mambazo, it's a South African male choral group that kind of was not really unheard of, but they weren't famous or anything yet. Like nobody really knew them. South Africa knew them, but this was during apartheid in South Africa. And Paul Simon, somebody gave him a tape of Ladysmith Black Mambazo and a couple other artists that were from South Africa. But at the time, this is 90s, so South Africa had apartheid, and there was a cultural embargo on South Africa. You couldn't go there and do anything. No, they didn't want any trade. That was it, right? They wanted to punish the leadership. Paul Simon was like, these are black artists in South Africa that are making incredible music, and no one's noticing, no one's seeing any of it. I love it. I just want to make music. I'm not trying to do anything with this. I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm not doing anything. And he went to South Africa, even though that was hugely not something you could do. And he went and he recorded with these artists and paid them, gave them all of these the writing credits, all this stuff. And then Graceland ended up killing it because of all of this different music that he somehow incorporated into that old folk type music. Yeah. And it's so cool to hear about. The 90s was not that long ago, Right. That's crazy. I was born in the 90s, 91. And the fact that there was it was that bad just that long ago. And I'm all about people creating bridges to other people, and trying to do all of this stuff that other people don't or whatever. And I love that some incredible music came from that album. One of my favorite songs of all time too. I don't know if I think Paul Simon is it's he's one of those artists, man, where you're gonna hear it and you're gonna be like, no, or you're gonna be like, all right, okay.
I'm interested because I know him. I knew this name. I knew him through 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
So, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not on the Graceland album. I think that it was actually after that.
Right. I'm looking at his top 5 popular songs to see which one I knew. And I know for sure I know 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
So that album, if you're ever you want to hear more about that album, it's the history about it is actually crazy. Everybody was mad at him for doing it. Everyone.
Wow. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and he did. I think there's it's probably a little problematic in some spots, right? Because it's still Paul Simon, a white artist using black artists to make music. Yeah. But the way that he's incorporated his own music and theirs is really nice. Like it's not about like, okay, you guys have to play what I tell you to. It's I'm gonna play around you.
Right.
And that's super cool.
It is. It's super dope to see that. Yeah, you got me interested just in the history alone. And when I seen the 50 Ways to Make a Lover, I was like, man, I love that song. So yeah,
there's a few Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes is like another really popular song. That one's pretty good. Yeah. So you guys, so you get the albums and you listen to it every week?
Yes. We'll listen to it throughout we kind of do it just your real feelings on it. Like there's been albums that he put that I've listened to, I'm still listening to today, or like sometimes I'll put it on at work and I'm like, listen to it on the way home, listen to it back, like just your real feelings on it. The Lil Yachty was my real feeling of like, I listened to the first song, I was like, this can't happen. I sat through it, but yeah, I knew I wasn't going back to that.
Yeah.
I'm a big music person. I love music. I love all music. It's very rare that I find music that I'm not into. So like sitting down and actually thinking about, because you had told me like what favorite album. It's like, dude, I don't know. And I'm like thinking of all these different albums. I'm like going through. I'm like, I don't know. But then I remembered that like Graceland. Not only do I think the history is just awesome, but like there's like a couple songs that just I don't know. For like, You Can Call Me Al is one of them. That it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. If I hear that song, I'm in a good mood. Like it instantly turns my mood around, and that's like a powerful thing,
It is. I didn't get so heavy into music when we was kids. We weren't allowed to listen to rap, so like we would kind of sneak it. But we listened to it like Gwen Stefani. I remember Around the World by Daft Punk, like because that's all we were allowed to listen to. And then it got to where I was like, all right. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I know how to get a hold of music that I want to hear now. So we were sneaking Tupac in the room, DMX, Snoop. Like, so for a large part of my life, it was just straight killer gangster rap for the longest. And then it didn't change until I started working at Spencer's. And Spencer's, if you have been in Spencer's, y'all know
their music is eclectic at best.
Yeah. So I learned so much. It's like, you should try this. Like, try this. And that was just like, wow, this is some really, really good music out here. And that's where my music finally started to get into just, I'll look at something, if the album cover looks nice, I'll be like, I'm about to try this and see. Like, I've gotten into that,
My mom used to listen to Tupac all the time when I was younger. So I don't know. I never like, I just have always listened to Tupac and never like appreciated Tupac's music. You know what I mean? Like it's always just been there. And my grandmother would always listen to like, I don't even know, like she would listen to like all of these 50s songs all the time. And I ended up liking a lot of them, which is weird. She's not even that old. Like she literally is not that old.
Yeah.
My grandmother's only 66. Like she was like not born in the 50s. And like it's weird. But yeah, like I don't know. But the music that my family listens to is family that like just becomes normal to me and I don't notice it. If that
right.
Which is weird. I've also always like, so when I was trying to find an album, I was like torn because there's a few Michael Jackson albums that I'm also super into. Even though Michael Jackson is like, appreciate the artist or appreciate the art, not the artist, right? Just in case with all that. But my mom also, I remember, because my mom had me when she was 18. So my mom had like posters of MJ on her walls when I was younger. Like I remember distinctly, like she had like these posters. She like thought he was the hottest thing in the world. So like he's always been around. Yeah, it's weird. I have a weird relationship with music.
It is. I understand you. So we're
going and then my stepdad came and he liked country.
He brought in a whole new genre.
And it's weird. Some country is okay. Like the rock country is okay. But then you get into like this other country and you're like,
country.
Yeah, you're like, wait, why?
I was just gonna say, I hate to be this guy, but it really might just be because of our area in this southern Texas, it gives me bad vibes. Like I hate to be that too, but it really it gives me really bad vibes.
Like the rock is fine. Oh, there's another band. Just if you're ever curious, Blue October.
I haven't heard of them.
So Blue October is like this. They used to have some really popular songs in like the 2000s, but they're like the lead singer to that actually has some really good vocals. But they are, I think, one of the most underrated rock bands of all time. Like they are, I think they're great.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't heard of Blue October. I know my little brother just put me, well, I say just, maybe like a year or two ago, on a group called Dorothy. She's I don't know if, I want to say, rock usually has a whole band. So she probably has a whole band, but I know she's the lead singer. Her stuff was pretty dope, but.
Dorothy rock band.
Is the album called Dorothy or I'm pretty sure her name is Dorothy. Or the name of the band is Dorothy.
Yeah, there's a band named Dorothy from 2014.
Yes.
I've heard this.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty cool too. But okay, so we got I lost his name. Well, one more time, Graceland by Paul Simon.
Paul Simon, yeah.
Okay, I got it downloaded.
I'm curious. I am curious what people think of it because it is like older people music, I guess. I don't know. Every time I'm sitting there listening to it, I'm like, but like I don't know. It's such uplifting. It puts you in a good mood. I don't know.
I've been listening to. I definitely think I'd like it. I've been listening to Taco putting on the Ritz, and I've been listening to that. All right. Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like this, like my music has changed so much. There's a big chance that I'm gonna.
Yeah.
There's not very many albums that Breed said that I haven't liked. I think this was the Lil Yachty was the only one, and I feel like you really knew I was gonna hate that. I feel like you did that one purposely.
I think I did know you were gonna hate that one.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Well, Cory,
for sure.
Thank you so much for this, man.
Sir.
I can't even put into words what this means for me, and I know for Breed too. Like this is really like, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too light skinned, but I really appreciate this a lot. It means a lot, and I consider you a friend and a friend to the pod. So anytime that you ever want to come back, just let us know. You're welcome anytime that you ever want to come back and just talk aliens or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Listen, anytime you guys want me, like, it means a lot to me too. The fact that you watched Legend of Dragoon and then, like, I don't know, resonated so much with what I was doing that, you know, you became a part of the community and invited me onto this. That means a lot to me too. So thank you.
Breed, you got any closing words?
You're definitely way cooler than I thought you were gonna be.
I told you nothing but great things about him. What did you think?
Sometimes you have to see it, experience it for yourself. I mean, you're really cool. I'll probably definitely be checking out that Pokemon.
Nice.
But yeah, man, you're welcome. That was great. You're welcome anytime. Definitely
Thank
talk
you.
Conspiracy theories.
Dude.
So, man, great to have you. Thanks for coming. Man, I don't know. Heck yeah, that was awesome.
Now that we got the interview part out of the way and got all the basic stuff out, the next time you come on, we got to find a cool little theme, like maybe conspiracy theories or music or just something fun to sit back and have a good stream with. But then again, I know it's late over there, so thank you so much for coming through and get you some good rest. You got a lot of stuff going on, so. One more thing before you go, because I want to let you plug some stuff, and also your merchandise. I went on your merchandise thing, which was super cool. So if you want to give links to or plugs to your merchandise and Twitch and anything else that you want to let people know about.
Geez, I am on twitch.tv/Missildine Online. I stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday around 9 a.m. Eastern. And right now during Spooktober, we're doing Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights scary games, which obviously these guys can't come to, so somebody else is gonna have to because they can't handle it. But no, I mean, you can find me on YouTube, Missildine Online as well, or Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I spend way too much time on Twitter. It's at Cory Missildine, which is just my name. That's it. It's literally just my name. That's where Missildine came from. My last name. Yeah, and if you do go on Twitch and you want to see some of the merch, I guess, !merch on my Twitch will bring you there. It'll like pop up a link. But it's one of them is like WoW stuff, and then another one is like a cool design that we just had done.
A really cool design. The coffee mug, the hoodies, the sweaters, they're all really cool.
Okay.
Okay, well, with that being said, we will head out of here, let you get some sleep, and I will see you Thursday morning. Right?
Yeah. What's
today? Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will see you Thursday morning then.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for showing up.